And welcome back to Mike and the Crew in the Morning. And if, as you heard, it's time for the open mic segment. If you don't know how this works,
So why are you holding a Would You Rather book? This isn't the segment, honey.
Ha ha! Okay, anyway. Wrong segment. Shut up. Okay, wrong segment. Wow.
Alright, well.
Open mic segment. So, if you don't know how this works,
basically, we sit here, pick a topic, and just talk about it.
Or if you want, it all depends on how we want to do it. We're either going to talk about a subject. You can call in and add to the subject. If we like what you're talking about, we'll give you a prize.
Unfortunately, today I tried like crazy, but I really couldn't get people to call in because most of the people that I asked are either still sleeping right now, or because they just got back from a trip, or they're working. So I couldn't get anybody to call in. My bad.
All right, cool. So I guess today we're going to be talking about a random topic, and let me get a drum roll so it gets a whole like that.
Yeah, I get it.
I mean it's not gonna sound like
All right. Well, today on the open mic segment,
the topic is.
That sucked.
All right, let me do it again. There we go.
There we go. And today on the open
better.
mic segment, the topic is something we have never talked about before. Today, it's called the Sleuth's Mystery Dinner Show. It's down on iDrive. Mike and I just went there last night for like a dinner date, and it actually was a very, very good show. It's one of those things where that basically it's one giant improv game. Like they might have a script to go off of at some point, but it's improv, and they entertain you while you eat some very awesome food. I had lasagna last night with meatballs. It was awesome.
Oh, yeah, food. It was see, like how they do it is they give you like you walk in, you pay for ticket. They give you like a whole menu list. What?
Nothing. I'm sorry. I have a line from the show in my head.
Hold on to that.
Except I can't say it here.
Why not? Wait, which one? That one. But
yeah, the one comment that I actually wish I could say, unfortunately, from the line is very funny.
I mean,
well, I probably could say it, but we might get in a little bit of trouble.
I mean, I could
bleep it out.
Yeah, I could.
Well, the comment essentially what it was
the tranny.
One of the characters. Yeah, there was
it wasn't supposed to be
a tranny.
It wasn't supposed to be a tranny, but the guy dressed up as a lady.
It was the essential joke that they've done in theater for years of a guy dressed in drag playing a woman and playing it very over the top.
Why do they call it drag anyway?
Drag queen, honey.
I mean, why do they call it that though?
That's why they call it that drag queen.
But why do they call it drag queen though? I don't.
Because it's a guy dressed as a woman. Usually it doesn't look. It looks like a little bit off, like the character of Dolly last night. You could tell it was a man.
Oh yeah, you tell it was a dude.
But it was acting very over the top, like a woman. And that's essentially why they call it drag queen. Okay. Because it's done very over the top, and it's still just you can tell though. Okay. But one of the guy playing Dolly, one of the comments to the character that ended up getting killed later was he makes a comment, the character who dies, his name is Tipton apparently, and he makes a comment about like how reading from the encyclopedia could be fun, and he says it with a sarcastic voice, and Dolly says, "Oh yes, reading from the encyclopedia is very fun, especially the F's and the U's."
Who the hell do you think you are?
But yeah, essentially what happened was they're always changing up the show, but the show that we seen last night, it was set in what? It was set.
Keep going.
It was set in a
radio station.
Set in a radio station, and it was the Tipton and Bill show, and apparently it was their last show because Tipton was going to satellite radio. He's like, "I'm going to satellite radio. I don't need you guys. Y'all suck. I'm going to satellite radio."
Yeah. The funny thing is though, is the character that they pulled a switch on you, and the character that you would never think would be the killer ended up being the killer, and that character was Bill, who was supposedly by character a classically trained actor acting like an absolute idiot.
Because Bill wasn't even the character's name. He was pretending to be Bill.
Well, of course he was, duh.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is he ends up at the end switching to British.
Mm-hmm.
And the funniest comment at the end is, "You must lay hands on me first, but I flee." It's like, flee. Who uses the word flee? No one ever uses the word flee anymore. But it was
British people.
I have British friends, and I've never heard them use the word flee.
Well, probably once.
I flee. I run away. I something.
Probably the ones who still live in England, probably.
Honey, I work for Disney. I get British people who come down on vacation. They never ever use the word flee.
Well, probably,
ever.
Well, those are probably the ones that are like just like robbing the banks and everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna use the word flee. I flee. No. It was just very funny and very over the top, and like one of the best character, I swear though, was Dolly. Because there's one.
Good.
What?
Sorry. Good.
Well, there's one point in the show where she's holding a knife, and one of the characters who just got broken up with, Ginger, takes the knife, and she's like trying to like pretend to stab somebody, and Dolly's like, "Let go, let go, let go, let go," like a woman, and then all
let go.
No, all of a sudden all you hear is release.
Yeah, like, release.
And then everybody's like,
everybody in the room started. Everybody in the room started cracking up.
Oh, it's just funny because all you hear is release, release, release.
Fat chicks need love too.
Oh, he wasn't fat.
No, but
that guy was actually for that guy playing Dolly.
Muscular Dolly. Muscle Dolly.
Well, he had to be at least 6 something.
Oh yeah, probably.
Maybe taller. Maybe it's because of the heels, but that guy was tall.
The heels added an extra like foot to him.
Well, the heels had like an extra 5 inches.
That dude
was tall.
That dude chick, that man dude was a monster. I'm not gonna lie.
Man, woman, she man.
She man, he she shim. You never heard shim before?
Shut up. Okay, but anyway, it was actually
woman man.
Nah, that doesn't make sense. But it was actually a really good show. This is kind of sad. We've both lived here for a long time, and neither of us have ever actually seen the show. We found out though that they do different shows during the week. It's never the same show. Twice in a week. For example, last night we saw the radio one. Tonight they might be doing something different. Mm-hmm. I think they said something about tonight might be
comedy,
like one of the study ones or something.
Probably because what they do, they have the mystery shows. They have stand-up comedians come in there, and they also have like actual comedy shows.
Well, I'm sure they do, but like my personal favorites so far are their mystery shows.
I mean, that's the only one that we've seen.
Actually, I think I saw a televised version of one of the comedy shows.
Here? Oh, at the Sluice?
Yeah, I think they may have televised it or something, because I remember seeing, like, a clip of the Mama's Comedy one. I think they may have been advertising or something, but I remember seeing one of the clips.
On TV there?
Something like that, yeah. They have their own website, too, in case you want to check it out. It's www.sleuths.com. Mm-hmm. It's actually a really good show. Mike and I might actually be going, if we so choose, might be going to work for them.
Because we were in line buying our tickets for the show, and there's this guy in a trench coat and a hat. We thought he was going to be the detective in the show, but he wasn't. But we were talking to him, and he said that everything is improv,
actually,
but
essentially what got us into it was my fault, because I walked up to him and I asked him, I said, what would be my chances if I was looking to possibly work here? He asked me how old I was, and when I told him I was 20, he said, that's perfect. We're always looking for, young performers to play and stuff like that. He asked if I was a good improviser, and I said, yeah, even though slightly not. I mean, improvising is fun and all, but I kind of prefer scripted sometimes.
I mean, when it's
Release!
Release door, I'm a chain smoker. But
I don't think they sounded like that.
No, I mean, but like that's anyway. But improv, you just make up stuff right there on the spot. Kind of what like whose line is it anyways?
Yeah, except that this show is actually funny. I'm sorry, some of the whose line is it anyways kind of just takes it a bit out there. Yeah,
but that show is still funny. Like
it is still funny.
Some of the like props is a funny game.
My personal favorite parts is when Ryan Stiles jokes on Drew Carey
during the hoedowns. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, he jokes on Drew Carey all the time.
Oh yeah.
Like he somehow or another, even if it's just the props, he finds some way to throw a Drew Carey joke in there. But anyway, back to the Sleuth Mystery Dinner show.
But yeah, it was really fun, and what was cool, they when the detective came in and talked to the crowd, he went to every table having a spokesperson from each of the people. Yeah. And what's funny when he got around to our table, he was like, well, I'm asking questions, but this table keeps talking and it's not listening. So then he
said he would come back to us, and he actually did. And at that point, we had actually come up with a pretty good question. We came up with the one.
We're tossing around about 5 different questions, and the couple that we were sitting at the table with, his question was, Dolly, are they real?
Referring to Dolly's boobs, which they were not. That was actually my comment later to this guy. I don't even remember his name now. But he said, ask that. And I said, well, I can give you the answer to that question right now. He goes, what's that? I said, no, they are not.
Remember his other question that his wife wanted to ask?
No, I don't. What was it?
The drapes and the...
Oh, yeah, that one. The character of, just in case y'all were wondering, the character of Dolly, she said some rather, I guess you could say sexually explicit.
Probably.
Actually, one-liners.
There were one-liners throughout the whole show. I got every single one of them.
Well, yeah, but not every single one of them was sexually explicit as drapes and carpet.
Yeah, it's like, do the drapes match the carpet? Like, and the character's like,
she wasn't from Chicago?
No, that's just what he's... Nah, that's just my chain smoker voice for. I forgot what my regular voice was.
Anyway, her regular voice usually would, when he was talking, especially when he was doing the over the top Dolly, except for the release part was like very up here, very da 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 da. But that's usually what you do. Like they've always done that, especially back since Shakespeare time, when there were no women allowed and it was all men, and you had to and a man had to act like a woman. They would have to put on that very womanly type voice. And usually it is pretty funny because now it's done as a joke where you have the one character of a girl who's played by a guy, and you can pretty much either tell it's a guy right from the start, kind of like Dolly, or you could tell, or just by like something they do, especially like release, that it's a guy.
Wow, what does that mean?